Want to win money on sports? With Underdog, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash just by picking higher or lower on your favorite players' stats. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars on Underdog. Will you be next? Download the Underdog app and sign up to get a free pick with your first cash entry up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Saints Block Party podcast. Thursday night. Monday Night Football preview pod. Saints Packers taking place in Green Bay. Lambeau.
Be fun there, boy.
It's gonna be fun. The funny thing, sorry, let's get this out on. The funny thing is, everything kind of time out before we get into the game. Just want to give a special shout out to a friend of mine. It is December 19th. It is their birthday. Happy birthday to them. I'm leaving it at that.
Happy birthday.
So there has been just so much happening in this week alone. You're seeing, if you want a perfect example of just weeding through between the lines and what different people are being told, this week is a perfect example of that going on right now with the New Orleans Saints, bro. Perfect example. Because Ian Rappaport comes out this week, and to be fair, like, this is, Ian Rappaport ain't reporting anything that I hadn't heard the day that the injury happened, Ryan. I was in New York, got the text message. It said Derek Carr should be going on IR. That's what I was told. Before we recorded the Giants recap pod, Ian Rappaport tweets out this week that after further testing, blah, 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 like Derek Carr probably like shouldn't be playing again, like blah, blah, and, you know, probably shouldn't be playing football again this season. Okay. And then you just get this pushback from Darren Rizzi. So he has the press conference today, and it's like Derek Carr's week to week, and, you know, he's itching to get back out there, and, you know, he has to go through these different protocol methods and all this and all that. And so Ian Rappaport is not getting that from nobody, from nowhere. Right? I'm not getting that from nowhere. It's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
But there's this other, whatever it is, that's just like, no, like, we are still pushing for Derek Carr to play games this season. And the funny thing that happened today, let's put the bow on the thing. So the Saints Twitter account tweets out, Spencer Rattler named the starter against the Packers. And then you hear Darren Rizzi says it in the press. I'm listening to it at work. He says, if Derek Carr, he prefaces and says, if Derek Carr can't go, then Spencer Rattler will be the starter. So that tells me that someone had already told the Saints media account that Spencer Rattler was going to be the starter, but yet Rizzi's still putting this qualifier on it. What is going on? It's a circus, bruh. It's a goddamn circus, bruh.
Damn circus. You got an organization that's not in lockstep. Not in lockstep, bro. You know what I'm saying? No synergy, all the little corporate terms that they throw around, no synergy, no collaboration and all that stuff. You have factions within the organization fighting for their jobs, fighting for what they think is right, or putting out information they think is might be right to them, but this faction over here, like, nah, we doing this. It's a mess. It's a mess right now. It's a dysfunctional organization right now. It's dysfunctional. Like, I know people don't like to hear it. They don't like to hear it. They like to think Saints is just like this. They just think of the Drew Brees Sean era where everything. Even in the Drew Brees Sean era, she was dysfunctional. We had some wins during that time, but it was just hitting real well. It was just hitting very well. Like, Sean Payton did a very good job with it, but it was crazy back then. It's a crazy place right now, bro. It's crazy. It just don't make no damn sense. What are we doing, Adam? How many times have I asked, what are we doing? I still don't know. What are we doing?
I mean, listen, it's funny because at one point in the presser, Darren Rizzi, it felt like he was like singling out our podcast. I know he wasn't, but it felt like he was, because he's like, oh, there's a lot of questions about, like, why would I start Derek Carr if he can go? Well, listen here, I'll tell you this. Everyone got a clean slate. When I became interim, which I appreciated, as interim, I appreciate it. And since I became interim head coach, all Derek Carr's done is gone 3-1. He's throwing 6 touchdowns. He's had a completion percentage of 68%.
The stats. The stats ready.
He listed them, bro. He listed them, bro. He just went down them all. And at one point, I wanted someone in the Saints media to go, Did y'all not see how he played against the Giants?
But we won.
I was there.
You would have said we won the game.
Exactly, though. And what was told to me, and it's fighting for desk space, and it's fighting for job preservation, and when you understand it from that prism, it makes more sense.
Yes.
This is Darren Rizzi's only chance that he is going to be able to potentially have a NFL head coaching job. There are 32 of them bitches. 32, bro. It's hard to get those jobs.
It's hard, bro. Bro.
As much as we can bemoan and be annoyed with Derek Carr, if you're a coach, if you had to pick between him and a rookie or a second-year player, you're going to pick Derek Carr. That's what it boils down to. Now, you could then say, well, that's not what the Atlanta Falcons are doing right now. But then someone would say, well, the Atlanta Falcons drafted a quarterback in the top 10. It's still an unknown, is it not? I'm just saying.
But look, like, what the Falcons are doing is hella risky for this season, But, you have a coach there. He's a first-year coach, and he wouldn't be doing that unless it was solidified from up top. Like,
yes,
he's not just making that decision like, no, that's coming from up top. Like, look, we behind you 100%. Let's do it.
There it is.
We don't have that. Like,
no.
And Rizzi just fighting for his job. Rizzi is doing everything. One thing about Loom is he will let the coach, for the most part, go do what he got to do if it aligns with, if it kind of aligns with what he wants. You know what I'm saying?
There it is.
So it's if they align, like, now if you go outside the box a little bit, no, I got to step in. But if it aligns with him, he going to let you go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yo, we need to, bring Carr back whenever you got to bring him back. If he's healthy, he's ready to go, bring him back. Which makes no sense. Like, tell me where it makes sense. From any outside of Darren Rizzi, trying to win as many games as he can. Get that. Move that out the way. We got that. He's an interim head coach. Of course, that's what he's doing. But outside of that, where does it make sense? Where?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
You're not going to the playoffs. He's injured, has a fractured hand and a concussion.
2 fractures in his non-throwing hand. 2, bro.
He has a injury protection guarantee, which could, if he plays, he could further injure himself. Like right now, his injury is like, he should be healed up, probably before the year's out, and he will pass his physical in March.
Right.
And so there should be no problem. If they wanted to move on, there shouldn't be no problems with the guarantees. But he can go and play a game next week and do something even worse to the hand. Then you talking about he is on the books for 2025, period, for that injury guarantee. 40 M's, baby. That's just so stupid. So stupid. It's just...
Our dude, Chris in the Discord was like, what if Derek Carr decided if he would agree to a pay cut and come back at $15 million, would you still want him on the team? No. No. I want the energy out the building, bro.
Yeah,
I want the energy out the building.
Because I guarantee some of this is protecting his ego. The whole Rizzy speech with the police percentage and the 3-1, that's 100% him protecting ego.
Yes.
Because he said it himself. He said, look, Derek Carr, he don't like all this speculation about if he's starting or not. No, he said that himself. So it's like why Derek Carr? Why you even why are you worrying about what people saying? Bro, you got a broken hand. You're not playing right now, bro. What are you talking about? What are you worried about what people saying right now for? What is...
And if that is the mindset of the quarterback that they went out in free agency and got and spent $150 million on, and he's going to be the franchise quarter, that's his mindset. That's his mentality, bro.
No
terrible,
thanks.
bro. Terrible, bro.
No, thank you.
Oh, Lordy.
Out of my face.
I need him going, bro. I can't. And that comes to the question, right? Because even recently, as of this week, all that I have been told, and it's early, right? We got 3 games left in the NFL season. A lot can change between now and week 1 of next season.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've been told as of right now is that Mickey Loomis wants Derek Carr to be back next season, and he wants him to be QB1. That's his plan for next season. Which, even from a perspective, I'm like, hey, you don't have a head coach right now. Maybe when you're conducting these head coaching interviews, maybe that's something you want to bring up to these candidates about what they feel about Derek Carr, right? I'm just how they think about them. It's not like they sitting on Colin Murray or something like that. Where you it's hey, it's a non-starter. Hey, if you don't want, Derek Carr's 34. Anyway, so that's his plan. So the question then, I don't know. The question then becomes, it becomes such a huge thing, such a thing where it seems like it's almost impossible that where something would happen to change Mickey's mind, right?
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it in the Discord. Not saying that it's likely. I don't want people twisting our words around and saying that we're saying it's going to happen, right? It would take a performance of a life. It would take a Josh Dobbs against the Saints game. Spencer Rattler got to do that in Green Bay, bro.
Right.
In Lambeau, in the snow.
Just like the league on fire.
It would have to be something like that for it to even be a conversation for the next 2-3 weeks. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. And that's where I think I appreciate, and I know it might be sacrilegious to give the Falcons props on this podcast because
I hate it.
Say whatever you want to say about their draft strategy. You can roast them that they gonna eat $40 million this year or whatever in 25, whatever it is.
They eat a lot of money.
Eating a lot of money. But and that's why I always kept saying, like, even this as the season was going on, like, at least the Falcons have hope to look forward to.
At least they got that, bro. At least they got that. I still don't like the process. The process of signing Kirk Cousins, in February or whenever they decided to sign him, March, and not having a good enough grasp on the draft process, on the prospects to know, because everybody knew Michael Penix was going to be there, at 8, like he was going to be there, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, like he was going to be there. So it's like, I mean, to guarantee that much money and then go draft a quarterback, it like you created the controversy right there. Like when it happened,
for sure.
You just created the controversy.
Yes.
But for the long-term interest of your team, I mean, if the owner fine with paying Kirk Cousins $90 million for 14 games or whatever, okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay, like that's charged to the game.
Can't. And everyone's like, well, yeah, Derek Carr's never had like a stretch as bad as Kirk. And I'm like, well, Derek Carr's never had the highs as high as Kirk either. Like,
let Derek Carr tear his damn Achilles and come back and see how he look. Shit. Come on, man. Stop it. Like, just stop it, bro. Stop it. Like Derek Carr, bro. I'm done fussing about Derek Carr, who he is, what he is. Is he average? Is he below average? I'm done with the conversation. It's like the DA conversation. That conversation is over. He is out of my life. And I want the same for Carr. I just want him out of my life forever. But yeah, it's been hard, bro. Like I've not been wanting to give the Falcons props for just making a move. It's a ballsy move. They are in the playoff hunt. They are still in the playoff hunt. And look, Kirk Cousins, he's had a very bad stretch of football the past month. But he could very well turn it around. I mean, he's coming off a win. It was an ugly win, but he's coming off a win this past week. He could very well turn it around, and they could make some tweaks to the offense or whatever, get back to play action passing and stuff, whatever, and go back to cooking and whatever. But they're saying, we ripping the Band-Aid off. We don't care what happened.
Balls,
that's I like the Saints would not do that ever. Like the Saints would never do that. Do that, bro.
And then we'll get into like the actual Green Bay game, and then we're going to talk about future head coach candidates. If Carr is back, and we'll have a whole fucking offseason to talk about this, but if Carr is back, the only thing I will truly ask, can it be like an actual competition?
Please.
Like, could it be an actual competition?
Please. Not this fake. Like, we live in our own universe where Derek Carr is this top 10 quarterback, that we, just this franchise untouchable quarterback. Because you know what? The national media has been, Mike Florio, Ian Rappaport, Fowler, everybody has been on this whole injury guarantee for next year. Why are they on that? Why are they talking? Why is that a story? Because Derek Carr is not a solidified starter. He's not a solidified franchise quarterback. If he was a solidified franchise quarterback, that wouldn't even be a story. Of course you pay the $40 million because teams want to pay good quarterbacks $40 million. Like,
talk about it.
If he was a good quarterback, you'd be happy to pay him. Oh, yeah,
easy.
Let's do an extension. Shit, like
maybe there should be. If only there was someone in the Saints front office that went through something similar to. Oh wait, there is,
which is hilarious. Derek Carr went through the same thing with the Raiders. You had Sean Payton go through the same thing with Russell Wilson, where he essentially benched.
Yep.
First asked Russell Wilson to deploy the guarantees, and Russell said no, hell no, and then they, benched him and got rid of him. And then this year you had the Giants. You know what I'm saying? The Giants who, always very similar to the Saints, always just spoke glowingly
Yeah,
Daniel Jones, which always swore by him, paid him when they really shouldn't have, and all that. And, it just, got him up out of there. He benched him, and then he said he wanted out, and they got him up out of there to avoid the interim contract.
All those teams finally came to their senses. Why not us, Ryan? Why not us, nigga? I need it to be us.
Maybe it will happen. This is all I'm saying. Maybe because it ain't going to happen until it happens. You know what I'm saying? So you just never know. I'm waiting. Somebody tweeted at us. They like, boy, when we get that Derek Carr, the Saints are part of ways tweet. Boy. I need it. I
do too. All right. We got about 10 minutes. Let's go into the game.
Yeah.
Big game. Not a big game, but kind of a big game. Big game in the sense that I feel like, hashtag the agenda, like Rattler's going into an absolute buzzsaw.
Ooh.
And it's funny because like I feel like he's going against a player on the opposite side in Jordan Love that feels like if he becomes who I potentially envision him to become, like is like his football doppelganger. A little bit. Not 100%, but a little bit.
In style.
Yeah, in style.
Yeah.
But the Saints have a tall task of them across the board. There's no AK. Breaks my heart that AK might miss a season, might miss his first 1,000-yard season. Literally breaks my heart that may happen to him. So you're gonna have heavy dose of Kendre Miller, which also more Jamal Williams. Saints on Clyde Edwards-Helaire to the practice squad. We'll see if he gets called up for this game. But you're going against a Green Bay team. And if you just really think about this, right? We brought up the draft chart last episode. If you didn't check that out, go look at our video episode for our last episode. The reason why the Packers are so goddamn good, aside from coaching and all that, is that they draft extremely fucking well and they develop talent.
Oh, yeah. They wrote the book on it, man.
Wrote the book on it. Their entire team is almost completely home fucking grown. Now, they do go out and splurge a little bit. Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney. But for the most part, they are homegrown. Their entire offensive line, mostly homegrown. Jordan Love, homegrown. All the right receivers, homegrown. Taylor Croft. Go ahead.
Remember when Aaron Rodgers was complaining about his receivers? Jordan Love ain't had that problem. That interesting.
Interesting. So, like, I'm going into this game, and it sounds weird, right? But first thing the Saints got to do defensively, they got to shut down Josh Jacobs. Go in. You got to shut down Josh Jacobs. Run defense. I'll give them credit against the Commanders, against a an offense where you would figure it would cause them fits, whether it be with Jay Daniels and the read option. They held up, bro. They held up. They did pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
They got to make that a focus, shut down the run game, and they played. I mean, it's a different. They played decently against the Packers offense last season in the first half last year, but that was with the Lattimore on the field, with Adebo on the field. They got a tall task, bro. It's going to be snowing in below freezing.
Yeah, it's
so that's the game that probably doesn't lead to a lot of passing to begin with. It's going to be run heavy.
Run heavy, bro. They're going to bring the big boy pants. And look, I will say the last couple of weeks they've stopped the run better. Not great, but better. Because it was most of the year it was atrocious. Like they couldn't stop a nosebleed, man. It was atrocious. But look, they're going against one of the better rushing teams in the league. Just the way they block, the way they run the ball. Josh Jacobs is, he a dog, always been a dog. So it's tough, bro. That's going to be the key. For me, the key to this game is the defense keeping the offense in the game. Like they can't let this turn to one of them things where it's, just like last week where it was 17-0, you know, out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to keep this. And look, the thing about Jordan Love is, as good as he is, he'll give you some because he's a very aggressive thrower.
He's streaky.
He's streaky. He might have a quarter where he's like, "Ooh, what are you doing?" And then another quarter where he is making just absolute beautiful passes. So, like we got to hope that he is off a little bit, and you got to make sure he off. Show him some disguises, show him some disguise blitzes. Put some pressure on him, blitz him. You know what I'm saying? Like bring some heat on him. Like don't just fold, man. Like just don't go in there and fold. I'm fine with the Saints losing this game. I like my number 10 pick overall. I'm happy and comfortable with it. But I also don't want to watch like the when we played the Broncos on Thursday Night Football a couple of weeks ago. That's just depressing. I don't want to watch that. You know what I'm saying? I want a nice fight. I want to see my team bring the fight. So don't go in there and fold. I want to see the defense. Like if DeMario play like he's been playing the past couple of weeks, DeMario been playing well, man. Like
yes, man.
I think he had 14 tackles against the Commanders. He just like he's a major difference in the run game. Like if he's playing like that, and he like when the lights is on, bro. So if he playing like that, that'll help a lot. The defensive line. We've been talking a lot about that the past week about, like Cam Jordan, I think he got 3 sacks so far this year. Just kind of, you see like just a renaissance of the defensive line. Maybe some of it's BS because they got a lot of weird sacks in the Commanders game, but I think you can see it when you watch them. They're a little more,
man. Yeah.
They're much more frisky. They get more pressures. They got, Ty Grantham up out of there. Like as soon as Rizzi got in, he was like, get out of here, buddy. First, they did some kind of fake, like, yeah, we're going to make you like a assistant to the defense or some shit. And then he took a job in Oklahoma. And they put, I think Brian Young is his name. Yeah,
yep,
BY.
Brian Young.
They put him over the D-line, and they changed things up. They just back to just rushing, stopping the run on the way to rushing the passer. And, that's what they built for. You know what I'm saying? And it's shown. Like it's shown. I think they've had more sacks in the 5 games with Rizzi than they had the entire time with DA, the 8 or 9 games with DA. Like that's just, and I know that's just sacks. That's not the whole story, but it's just that just tells you everything. That's very telling.
Randy Major said Marshawn didn't play in Green Bay last year. It was just a Debo and Taylor. I don't believe that's true because one of the big things that came out of that game is that Romeo Doubs was like going off, and one of the big things is that DEA didn't they didn't put Marshawn on Doubs. He just kept him on the left side.
Was it a Debo that was out? I remember because
somebody. I think a Debo was out.
Yeah, Debo was out. I think.
I think a Debo was out. So what do you want to see? And I'm not saying I'm not speaking from like a grand perspective, like grandeur type of thing, but like what are the things? Oh, that's right. It was thank you, Sandoval. It was Isaac Yadam. It was Isaac Yadam. Who had like a great first half, and then like Romeo Doubs started like cooking him, bro. And then DA was like, okay, I don't know. I don't tell you. I don't have a shutdown corner on my team. Just keep doing what you're doing. What do you want to see from Spencer Rattler in this game?
I want to see Spencer take a lot of the singles and doubles. Just it's a lot, what do you call them? Check downs. And it's going to take him and the offensive coordinator working together to figure this out or what the game plan is. But just get the layups, get the easy ones, get those out so you can get in a nice rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Because the worst thing that can happen is a lot of 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 11 and 3rd where they're going to tee off on you. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to have to do it. It's just like, we don't want that. We don't want that. So let's just try to keep, if we punt, we punt. Hopefully the defense is playing like, where they just playing well, where you don't mind putting. But punting. And also, I need Clint to cook, bro. Like, come with it. Come with the hook and ladder. Come with a little gimmick here. You showed a little something last week with the Cedric Wilson pass, the AK. Give me more of that, man. Like, you're going to have to steal a possession here. You might need a fake punt or something like you did that fake punt in the Giants game when you need to. This is a game where you can use that fake punt, like
Right.
or some kind of trick special teams play to steal a possession, because you're going to need all the possessions you can get. So it's just going to be one of them games. I just want to see Spencer just have a nice, clean game, because even in this game against the Commanders, when you go back and look at it, he had like a handful of like beautiful, just like really nice plays. And he had a couple of course, rookie just boo-boos.
Right.
So I just want to see him clean up those little rookie boo-boos, whereas, I thought his footwork was much better in this past game.
Yeah.
Offensive line, weirdly, like, got better when he got in.
Man, it was weird, bruh.
Because it was
weird.
That first half was terrible. I mean, the offensive line was terrible, bruh.
Awful, bruh.
I watched again. I was like, damn, Ruiz looked terrible out there. I was like, Jesus, this man out of my face, bro.
Man, just got an extension, just cashing it in, bro.
I went over the cap. I was like, man, how long we gotta pay? When we get out of here? Like, Patrick, Fuaga, he got worked a few times. Penny was getting worked, you know what I'm saying? But then it got a little better when Rattler got in there, but there was still some pressure. And I don't know how ferocious Green Bay's D-line is. I know they're pretty good.
Yeah, they got Rashawn Gary. They got Adrian Cooper. It's just, here's the thing that's about this game is the Saints have struggled with like interior pressure, and the Saints guards are not very good. And Green Bay has Kenny Clark, who is one of the best interior linemen, defensive linemen in the league, right? And he's elite, right? So it's going to be hard to move him off the spot. So whether that's utilizing here's something that I want to see, and we've been asking this of AK for over the years. Can we see Kendre down the field? Can we put him on a wheel route? Can we use him in the passing game a little bit? I know that. Go ahead.
No, I was like, can we get Foster Moreau involved in the pass game a little more? Because I always think, like, every time Rattler get on the field, I feel like they got a nice little connection
They
there.
do, bro. They got something. They got a little something. I'm excited to see it. Who knows how it's going to look? Again, we talking about it's going to be snowing. It's going to be at least a snow-like environment, frosty. But I just kept saying in the Discord, bro. Like, I just kept imagining Jake Haener like going out there in the snow, bro. And
I saw enough with that one. Think with the nerve to come on there all spicy.
Nigga, I was.
Like, you proud of that? He was proud of that performance. I'm like,
nigga, I know that ain't who I think it is trying to talk this greasy at the podium right now, Mr. Slip and Slide. No, I know this ain't this.
Oh, man, I'll tell you one thing I'm looking for in this game that's going to tell me all I need to know about Rizzy. If I see players slipping and sliding on that Green Bay field, knowing every team that go in there have a problem with that field. Every team except Green Bay. Because somehow teams that don't play, that are not in the NFC North, don't know you have to wear some kind of special cleats. I'm not a cleat, aficionado or nothing, but there's something wrong with that field where everybody just go to slip and slide. Every time the Saints play up there, they slip and slide. Every time. Rizzy, if you're listening, like, tell them where to screw in cleats or whatever they got to do.
Something.
Bro. I'm not trying to see players slipping and sliding all over the field, bro.
We saw it last season.
So every time we go out there and play, bro. Every time, except, I know with Sean Payton, but the only time with Sean Payton was there was when we played Green Bay in 2011, I think.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, why everybody slipping?
I'll ask you this, and then we'll get to our break, and then we'll come back and talk about head coaches, and we'll wrap up. What is more important long term for this team? And I asked this in the Zoom live stream as the game was going along, right before Spencer had the drive, almost the game time drive, game winning drive. What's better long term for this team? Rattler potentially looking so good that Mickey takes notice that it maybe moves him off his thought process of bringing Carr back, or at least him being open to the idea that maybe Rattler can have a year as just having like an evaluation year similar to like a Will Levis, or staying within that 8, 9, 10, 11 range draft prospect wise. Because for that to happen, like Rattler would have to essentially like go out and just like ball out, which is high expectation.
I mean, that's the ultimate goal is to get that W, bro. I mean, not the W, but to see your young rookie quarterback, like if you actually see him ball out, have potential, bro. That's better than some 12th pick in the draft or 11th pick in the draft or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like if Spencer looked like he that dude, at least potentially that dude for a season, like
right.
that's worth a lot, man. Like that's like you got something. You know what I'm saying? And especially if it's enough to like move Loomis. Like yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's.
If I didn't have to see Derek Carr for another season, bro. Oh my God.
Just go ahead and get Genty at 11 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Call it what it is. Yeah, man.
Anyway, we will go to our sponsor. We'll be back. We will talk head coaches briefly, just candidates, just talk about them, brainstorm them. After our break, we will be back right after this.
Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are cold? Make your entries in just a few taps and turn your sport opinions into real money. Wide receiver hurt? Every dog deserves a second chance. And with Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back and receive a promo if any early injury causes your entry to lose.
I love Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is the best place to play champions. So sign up and deposit now using promo code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Download the app today and use the code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, download the app today and use the code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Will Derek Carr throw for over 75 yards, higher or lower? You decide using Underdog Fantasy.
Download the app today and use code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Higher or lower, you make the call on Underdog. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text Next Step to 53342. In New York, call 24/7-HOPE-LINE at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
Miles here is an electrician running wiring for this new home build.
Good morning.
Miles doesn't have time for funny business.
I guess.
Miles traded up to Sirius Commercial Auto Insurance from Geico for customized coverage that grows with his business, all for seriously low rates.
So where's the Geico surprise cameo?
Come again?
You know, like some big famous football player or something. He's gonna bust for that wall, isn't he?
No, this ad is serious business.
Guys, get over here! You gotta see this!
No, there's nothing funny over here. Sorry. Get more with Geico Commercial Insurance. Trade up today at geico.com/commercial.
At Kroger Pharmacy, care is what's most convenient for you. Care is being here when you need us. We're open evenings and weekends. Care is helping you save more. Most insurance plans and discount cards are accepted at your local Kroger Pharmacy. Care is saving you time by managing your prescriptions online. You can request refills, check order status, and more. Care is convenience that works for everyone. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Services and availability vary by location. Age and other restrictions may apply. For coverage, consult your health insurance company. Visit the pharmacy or our site for details.
When you visit Arizona, time is measured in moments, not minutes. Like the moment you see the Grand Canyon for the first time. Visit a new state of mind. Learn more at hereyouareaz.com.
We are back. Let's see if I can do this correctly. I think I did. Boom. All right, that's not. Let's see if I can get this closer. So if you're listening, if you're listening,
Okay.
if you're listening to the audio version, we apologize. So we'll.
You could highlight it and like, increase the font size too if you want.
Yeah. All right. So we wanted to just do a little quick brief head coaching candidate. I tried to clean this up a little bit before the podcast as best as I could, because it like the formatting it came.
Yeah. I just had AI generate that, man. I don't know.
See what AI does, bro. See what AI does.
Just give me a list of potential head coach candidates.
Can't replace the human. Anyway, so Ryan sent this to me when I was at work. Just some head coaching candidates for the Saints. So we have pulled up the list of candidates. They are Ben Johnson, Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers, Todd Monken, offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, Cliff Kingsbury, offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders, Vance Joseph, defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos, Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, Joe Brady, offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. Weirdly enough, he is like the betting favorite to be the Saints' next head coach. Brian Flores, defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, Jeff Hafley, the special teams coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what AI do? Talking about some tight ends coach.
See.
AI be lying, boy.
Can't replace me. Wes Phillips, who I believe is the passing game coordinator, or is he the quarterback's coach? I think he's the passing game coordinator. Maybe, I don't know. But he does work for the Minnesota Vikings. Mike Drabel, who is like a consultant, or he works with the Cleveland Browns in some capacity. And Pete Carroll, who is retired, and Darren Rizzi, who was the interim head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and previously special teams coach for the Saints, and worked for the Miami Dolphins.
Sean Payton on the TV. I look at Sean, bro. That's that post Laws face. I remember that one.
Man, nigga hot. Nigga hot.
But it's funny how that game kind of ties in with what we're doing now, because just the battle of two great head coaches, bro. You got Jim Harbaugh and Sean Payton, and just look what they did to those teams in such a short time. Like Denver Broncos coming out looking good. I mean, Denver Broncos looked good the first couple of quarters, man. Just looked like they was going to run away with the game. And then the Chargers finding life late in the game, which, we've been watching the Chargers. They charge it. Like, okay, here go the Charger. He's changed that narrative just that quick. Changed that narrative where they go out and win a game, in the final quarter. So that just shows you the impact just of getting good head coaching in the building. It changes everything. Sean Payton, go look at the Broncos roster, and
outside of Patrick Surtain and a couple other players, go look at those names. Go look at those names and where they come from and where they was drafted, and tell me, the pedigree that they have. It's a lot of, 7-round picks, a lot of cast-offs, some of them from the Saints, a lot of UDFAs, and he got them boys playing. Them boys out there playing. You know what I'm saying?
Probably a playoff team, bro. More than likely a playoff team.
They are a playoff team. Like, that's no question, man. And that just shows you the power of coaching. That's what we searching for right now. Out this list, we hoping one of these guys can bring that. Who?
What do you want?
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's start with Ben Johnson. Spend the least amount of time on him.
Yeah.
He'll see 504 pop up on his phone, and he's going to immediately fucking hang up.
We can't. They won't even call his phone. They call his agent. Like, nah, bro.
Immediately.
Ben Johnson won't even see the number hit his phone. He's like, his agent gonna be like, nah, bro. Mickey, you ain't getting this number. It don't even make no sense.
I have a thing about defensive head coaches scare me a little bit just because the percentages of hitting on a defensive coach and them being good is like not very high. But Jesse Minter, man, I'm gonna say something a little controversial. Can I say something a little controversial right now?
Go ahead.
I think he might be a better DC than Aaron Glenn.
Ooh, like that, spicy.
And maybe it's just the Jim Harbaugh thing, but you go and look at those Michigan defenses, right?
Yeah.
Michigan defenses, you go and look, he was with the Ravens, he was with Michigan, he's with the Chargers. I like those are the defenses that I want the Saints to have, right?
Yeah.
They're able to identify players on defense and build defenses that are bullies. We need that as an organization. Now, it can't just be one-sided. You can't just focus on that one side. So does he have that capability to look on the other side as well? That's what you always never know as when you're selecting the defensive coordinator. But that's my little spicy hot take is I might be more intrigued as Jesse Minter as a head coaching candidate than Aaron Glenn. That's all. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it's interesting. And look, when you're looking at all these defensive head coaches, that's going to be the question with all of them. Like, what's your vision for? Look, this is an offensive-driven league, man.
It is, man.
Don't get me wrong. Defense is extremely important. Lord knows we know this as Saints fans. But, it's about the quarterback, man. It's about, one, finding the quarterback, developing the quarterback, and, accentuating the talents of the quarterback. And you got to have that vision as a defensive head coach to be able to do that. And it's kind of rare. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of rare to find that, man. That's why I give props to Todd Bowles. Like, you just got to give credit to what he's doing over there, bro. Like, a lot of times and me included, just kind of like, Todd Bowles, But I mean, look, at least he making the right hires. You know what I'm saying? On
It's
offense,
impressive, bro.
Making good decisions about, who to bring in, going to get Baker Mayfield, revitalizing his career and stuff like that. It's funny because Todd Bowles the Tampa Bay is funny because Todd Bowles is who the Saints wanted DA to be.
Exactly.
Remember Todd Bowles was the DC and they, promoted him coming from Bruce Arians and blah, blah, blah. Just like DA and Sean Payton. And Baker Mayfield is who they wanted Derek Carr to be.
Sure. Ain't that crazy, bro? Ain't that crazy?
Let's keep going, though.
Them niggas about to win the division almost probably back to back, bro.
Back to back.
This make me fucking sick. Top Monken, Ravens OC.
Very
older.
I mean,
older,
but man, he got that offense cooking, boy. That offense is cooking.
Todd Monken came on my radar the year that Jameis got suspended in Tampa Bay, and he was calling plays for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Remember that Tampa Bay game we was at, bro? And we was just annoyed. he called plays for Ryan Fitzpatrick that entire season. I was like, man, out here and Ryan Fitzpatrick had a pretty goddamn good season with the Bucs that year.
Yep, sure did, man. Like, nah, bro, like he's somebody that and been around a long time. You know what I'm saying? So it's somebody that I would like to know more about. You know, because I just don't know more about him. But what he did this year, you know, Lamar's having his best year as a passer. You know, like they found the perfect balance between Lamar's run game and his passing game.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's like you just go look at the stats, man. They're one of the most explosive offenses in history right now. So like you can't deny that shit.
No, not at all.
And for him to do that with Lamar is like that just feel like it opens the door for potential, you know, whether it's a mirror role or maybe nobody in this draft class, maybe a future draft class, just somebody. Right. It just feel like it opens the door on the type of quarterback you could bring in. You know,
yes.
Say Spencer Rattler don't work out or whatever.
Right, whoever. Cliff Kingsbury, offensive coordinator right now for the Washington Commanders.
This you know him better than me, man. Like, do we want that head coaching? Do we want him as a head coach?
As a head coach, probably not. Now, I think that question is different. I'll pose it like this: if they had hired like Jesse Minter as like head coach, this is just hypothetical, and they brought in Cliff Kingsbury as the OC for Spencer, just as an example, mm-hmm. I think that's a lovely pairing. Like that's a pairing that you would love. Just Cliff as himself as a head coach. But this is what I would do. And the Saints would never do this. If I was running an NFL team, I would hire Cliff to a position. Had nothing to do with coaching. I'd hire him to a front office position in scouting that literally was just strictly of evaluating quarterbacks, and I would make him a very highly paid position and be like, hey, you scout every quarterback in this draft class. And you give me your opinion of them. That's what he would do every season. Because his scouting of quarterbacks is almost impeccable. Almost impeccable, bro. Say whatever you want to say about him as a coach.
But he got the eye.
He got the eye for the quarterback, and that's a gift, bro. Like that's a gift. And I would pay handsomely for that if I was the owner.
Oh man. That's worth a lot of money. A lot of money right there.
Vance Joseph, DC, Denver.
You know, you can, and it's funny because he had the 1 year with the Cardinals as a HC.
No, it wasn't with the Cardinals, bro. It was with Denver. It was Steve Wilkes with the Cardinals.
Yeah. With Denver, and shit, I don't even remember who they had at quarterback that year.
Bro, it went bad, bro. It was like bad. Got
that stink on him. But look, he got Denver defense humming, man. They took a lick in the day, but nah, I'm good on that, bro. I'm good on Vance Joseph.
Aaron Glenn. So
Aaron Glenn, baby.
This is the candidate that I've been told. Like literally the week DA got fired, that Mickey has had his eye on. Like I know that Joe Brady's like the betting favorite. Aaron Glenn should be the betting favorite.
Should be the betting favorite, right?
Should be the betting favorite. Does that mean that he's
him in 2022? They interviewed him. They loved him.
Blew them away, Ryan. Blew them the fuck away. Made them give like a second of pause. Before like offering the job to DA. That's how much he blew him away. Keep in mind, like that was when he was just brand new of being a DC with the Lions. Right. So he's had more seasoning. He's produced more impressive defenses with the Lions.
Right.
The question really becomes, I think he would be a good head coach. I think he would even be a pretty good culture builder. The question then becomes, like you just said earlier, what about the rest of it? What about the offense? How does Aaron Glenn envision his offense? What does that look like? We don't know. We don't know that.
Right. What's his staff look like? What's his Rolodex? Because one thing all these coaches do that want to be head coaches, they start building their staff years before they become a head coach. Like
years, bro.
They meet with guys, that they just know through the grapevine. Like, bro, look, if I get a job, bring you with me to be the OC. I'm bringing you with me. You gonna run special teams. Man, you a good scout, bro. They start working on that years before they become a head coach. So I wonder, what his Rolodex looks like. You know what I'm saying? Is there some offensive assistant with the Detroit Lions right now that he wants, or is he going to be just since he was with the Saints for a while, is he going to calling Pete Carmichael to come back or something? I don't know. Or Joe Lombardi. It's like, hey, Joe Lombardi, you want to come be my OC? Like, I want to know what's his vision of the offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the number one key for me.
1 second. So, Sandoval, much love for the $4.99 super chat.
Hey, thank you.
Our dude Mark said a Jesse Minter is a smash mouth defense. AG is a sweat equity defense. I think that's a pretty good analogy. Marcelo said, can we tier the ones who aren't coming so we can realistically see who it will be? I mean, we talking through him, Marcelo. Like,
we're just talking through him, bro.
That's all we doing, bro. We're just talking to him. We'll see. I would say this. If you were asking me right now, I would put the chances of Aaron Glenn becoming the Saints head coach at about 65-ish%. Now, the thing that gets super interesting to me is that there's going to be teams that will also want Aaron Glenn to be their head coach.
Yeah.
And there's going to be other teams that have better situations than the New Orleans Saints do. Those are just facts. And he might take a job with another team, and the Saints might be on the outside looking in. So that's just something to be mindful of when thinking about the next head coaching.
Because from his perspective, the defense is much worse than when he was here.
Much.
No Lattimore, no Marcus Williams. It's older. Cam Jordan on his last leg. Defensive line need plenty of help. DeMario's on his last leg. So it's just like, even from a defensive perspective, and we ain't even talking about the offense yet.
He got to rebuild it. He got to rebuild it.
So, like, from his perspective, if I'm looking at, say the Jaguars, the Jaguars know they're not great, but look, I got, say what you want about Trevor Lawrence, but he's a young quarterback talent.
And the Jazz got Josh Allen.
They got Josh Allen. They got
Trevon Walker's playing pretty well.
Walker's playing well. They got cap space. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shit. I'd rather just take my licks over there. So, I don't think it's gonna be just a given. Like, oh yeah, like Aaron Glenn gonna come over there. But I also want to know, like, damn, would he be a Derek Carr guy or not? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I need to know it, bro. I need to know it. Aaron.
Because as a defensive guy, he might look at him like, I can win with that. I can win with Derek. That same old, I can win with that. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that mentality in the building.
I don't. I do not. Joe, speaking of betting favorite, Joe Brady.
Oh. Don't he just scream that just like the white privilege thing? It's just like, what? Just like, bro, you ain't do nothing yet, bro. Nothing.
This nigga that had Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, this nigga gonna be head coach. Okay, all right, Joe Brady. All right, nigga. This nigga got the taper fade and the clean cut beard. This nigga need to be head coach. Okay, all right.
But they you bring up like Teddy Bridgewater in the Panthers. They're like, that's the Panthers. Like, that's where I want to see you cook at. Like, that's what I want to see your coaching acumen.
That was Matt Rule.
Yeah.
You understand? right? You understand? Yeah. That was Matt Rule.
And that's not to say he might not be good. I gotta just get some more skins under your belt, bro. Like, I just want to see him get some skins under his belt a little more, man, because he was they tied him to the Saints, but he was like literally just like an offensive assistant with the Saints for like a year or two. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was
dialing up schemes and nothing like that. He was just a young guy in the building. Went to LSU for that year with Joe Burrow and elite NFL weapons. They cooked the league. Then he went to the Panthers, got ran out of there quickly, and worked himself back up with the Bills. It's just not enough on the resume for me to be impressed with as a head coach.
Head coach,
No.
a CEO, bro, a CEO,
No.
CEO, no. I'm not buying what you're like. Listen, he's not on the list. He's not on the list. If Joe Brady's on this list, why is Kellen Moore not on this goddamn list? I would take Kellen Moore over fucking Joe Brady at this point. At least he got the notches on his belt.
He really do. He really do. I don't know why I didn't put Kellen Moore on there.
Okay, so good. Anyway, Brian Flores.
Very interesting. Because one thing I love about Brian Flores, and one thing I look for in coaches is like, do you innovate? And he really innovated something this year with the defense he runs.
He does
with the Vikings, bro. Like he had quarterbacks' minds frazzled with what he was doing. That's impressive to me, bro. Like as a coach, if you still in 2024 coming up with new things and new ways to it just tells me you view the game different. And look, he came up under Bill Belichick, so they view the game, in a very situational point of view. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really impressed by him in certain ways, and then some other ways I'm just kind of like, just like his history with the Dolphins, and even that, I don't know if that really, because I know there's the thing with Tua where he was kind of like hard on Tua and stuff. That doesn't bother me that much because, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, the Tua thing doesn't bother me. The thing that bothers me with Brian Flores, it was the
kneeling?
No, it was the Kenny Stills thing.
Yeah.
That he did with Kenny Stills when he was kneeling. Yeah. And like he purposely played like a song, like a Jay-Z song or something.
Yeah.
I can't get over that. Like that was like spitefully done. Like like head coaches are gonna do things to, like motivate players and like get in their psyche and do things.
Yeah,
that wasn't that. That wasn't that. It wasn't that.
And even the Tua thing, like to me, like maybe Tua is just a little too soft or too sensitive or something like that. But you got to know as a head coach, what buttons to press. Because every player is different, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Some need positive reinforcement, some, negative reinforcement. Some you could scream at and that's what works. Some you got to go, find personal time, put your hand on the shoulder. And you got, as a head coach, you have like Sean Payton had a great skill with that on how to work with certain players. And look, even he messed up sometimes where he couldn't, figure out. Like Brian Flores, they traded Micah Fitzpatrick like after his first year, you know what I'm saying? Because he tried to pigeonhole him into certain positions on defense and stuff like that. Make Fitzpatrick an elite defensive player. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just a lot of things that are just like, and I don't think the Saints would touch him anyway. So
no, they did interview him last round. Yeah. SJ said, "Bruh, Sean Payton had his play calling duties taken away from him at the Giants. Went to Dallas as the quarterback coach and then promoted to OC. Yep. Joe Brady had a very similar story."
The thing is, Sean Payton was the OC with the Giants for years. Went to the Cowboys as a pass game coordinator. Played there for years. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
there's progression. He worked to it.
Yeah. I'm not saying like Brady is trash or Brady don't deserve it. I'm just saying just give me a little more. Like. We don't need to rush you to be a head coach, right? Like, what is the rush to push you to be a head coach right now? Like, dude, he's still a kid. He's younger than me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all I'm saying
age is all that matters, but I'm just like, come on, man.
All I'm saying is that if Joe Brady is on a list for head coaching jobs, there's no way that Kellen Moore should not be on the list of head coaching jobs, especially what he's done with the Eagles.
Who is Joe Brady's Rolodex? Like, he don't know nobody. Hello.
He
ain't been around long enough, man.
Hello. Jeff Hathaway. I don't know. I mean, I know
he's the DC. They got him as special teams right here, but he's the DC.
Thanks, AI.
AI, bro. Allen Iverson, what you doing, bro? Yeah, he was at Boston College last year as he's the head coach, and then came to be the DC for the Packers. Doing a good job with the Packers, but I don't really know much about him to have like an opinion. I have no opinion whatsoever on him. Like,
that's
like okay.
SJ said Sean Payton was the OC for 2 seasons at the Giants. So I feel like SJ like really enjoys like Joe Brady. So all we're saying is that Joe Brady has not done much to really show or really emphasize that he is ready for a head coaching job in the NFL yet. You can completely disagree with us. And maybe who knows what? Maybe he'll be a great head coach. All we're saying that from our opinion is that he hasn't even been a full OC yet. Like he's been a full OC for the Carolina Panthers, a full season, and the Buffalo Bills half a season.
And before the Giants, Sean Payton was an offensive guy with the Eagles, for a while. Before that, he was with San Diego State. He was with Sean Payton went through the ringer for a long time before he got to his head coaching job. And he was a young head coach when he became the Saints head coach. Like, I'm just saying, like, can Joe Brady get some seasoning before we push him to be a CEO of a franchise that needs to be rebuilt from the bottom up? Like, it's not walking into like, a ready-made position. This is a tough job we asked him to do.
Can he marinate? Can he marinate in the seasoning first before he put him on the grill? So this is
crying on him or something. Man.
This is my dude right here, Liam Cohen. I'm gonna say this.
Dude, huh?
This is my dude. Liam Cohen is who drove. Liam Cohen is who. Liam Cohen should be getting the credit that Joe Brady is getting because he's doing it with Baker Mayfield.
Cooking, bro.
Like it's easy to cook with Josh Allen. It's easy to cook with Joe Burrow. This man out here cooking with Baker Mayfield. I get it. Baker Mayfield went number 1 overall. I'm not saying that he don't have talent. I'm not saying that he don't got pedigree. Baker Mayfield, before he went to Tampa Bay, was a journeyman. He was a journeyman. He was going team to team. And the perception was, oh, God dang. Dave Canales went to Carolina. He going the head coach. Baker Mayfield's about to have this regression. His OC left. He's played better since David Canales left with Liam Cohen. I love what Liam Cohen has done with Baker. I love what Liam Cohen's done with Bucky Irvin, with Rashad White, with the running backs in the running game with Tampa Bay. I feel like Liam Cohen would be perfect for Kendra, for Spencer's development, even if he's not the long-term answer, even in the short term. And there's like a little tangential like line between the Saints and Liam because they've talked to him and interviewed him at some point.
Yep.
Don't think the Saints would hire him as head coach, but Liam Cohen is like my dude. I love him as a head coaching prospect.
Yeah, man, he was with the Rams. Like I would be much more into him than Joe Brady.
Much more. Like he's like in my like top 5 of head coaches candidates I would love. Zach Robinson, the rose is falling off of Zach Robinson, bro.
Well, I remember everybody was tweaking for some Zach Robinson in the offseason. Like, where's Zach at? Where's Zach? Zach signed yet? He signed yet? Well, we'll see. Like if he got Penix cooking, then maybe it'll turn around. But I'm good right now. I'm good. Yeah.
Thanks, but no thanks. Wes Phillips is like my another one that I'm just like, I feel like Wes Phillips could be, and this is high praise, and I'm being a little hyperbolic, maybe a little Kevin O'Connell 2.0, bro, just little.
Right. Just like, remember, nobody, I don't think Kevin O'Connell even interviewed anybody when he came, because he came out the same year as we hired Dennis Allen. And it's 2022.
Yes.
And the Vikings had their eyes set on him, brought him in, hired him. And it was just like, no fanfare. It was like, okay. Kevin
Well, and
O'Connor.
it's fun, but it's funny because that story is just so funny because we talked about this with Jordan Rodriguez of the Athletic. The Vikings had their eyes set on Jim Harbaugh, and Jim Harbaugh went to that interview, and he was being egotistical Jim Harbaugh and thought he had it all made in the shade, and went in there and pulled his dick out and thought that he had it in the bag, and it kind of turned the Vikings off. They was like, I don't know.
I don't want that.
And that opened their eyes to interview other candidates, and then they interviewed Kevin O'Connor. They loved him, and now he's one of the best young head coaches in the league. Like maybe that's Wes Phillips. Like I'm just saying, it's not like he doesn't have pedigree. Like man, Wade Phillips' son.
Wade Phillips' son, man. Wade Phillips' son. Just an interesting guy. I just read about him. Just reading reports about him. He did have like the DUI, I think last year. Or something like that, so they kind of took a little stink on him. I'm not defending DUIs, but he had like a .10 blood.
This nigga know the point. This nigga know the BAC. This nigga pull out the BAC on the podcast.
Yeah, like a .10, and the elite limit is like a .08. That's like 2 cut waters, bro. Yeah, 2 cut waters. Should have been driving. It's illegal. It's wrong. Could have definitely hurt somebody. I'm not defending it, but it's not like the man was just plastered, just like. I'm just saying. I'm New Orleans.
Just walk, Wes. Just walk. Just walk as you drink, bro. Just don't get behind any vehicles, Wes. Mike Vrabel, who is probably probably one or two of probably him and Ben Johnson are finding out for the number one head coaching. There's no way he's coming to the Saints.
No.
The funny thing is there was interest. There was legit interest. I had heard this. Was this last offseason? It was last offseason after the Titans kind of unexpectedly fired him. He had legit if the Saints would have moved on from DA last offseason, he had legit interest of potentially coming to the Saints because there's connections that he has within the Saints building. And then that didn't happen. Not going to happen. Pete Carroll, former Seahawks head coach, I don't think the Saints would go down that route just because I think Pete Carroll is just too much of a personality.
Very much.
It would not work with what Mickey's looking for. But
that's the type, he's the type that I want. You know what I'm saying? When he went to, the Seahawks weren't shit. You know what I'm saying? He went there and turned them into a legit contender. Now, you can talk about how, the second phase didn't go well, after paying Russ kind of got washed. The defense never did.
But even that second phase,
it started building towards something.
That last draft class, a lot of that success was Pete Carroll, influencing that draft class. He just didn't
see it to fruition. Yeah, and he's older. He's older than Belichick, actually.
That's crazy.
So all that. Okay. And look, they're not, like we said, they're not going that route. But that's the type of guy I would like. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I would at least be talking to Pete right now, bro. I'd be talking to him bro. What you think, bro?
They could be talking to Pete Carroll right now, bro. Not would they go down that route? No, but they could be talking to him right now, right? Hey, Pete, what you think about this young talent? What you talk about Alante? How you want to talk about a Pete Carroll type of player? Cannot think of a Pete Carroll type of player more than Alante Taylor right now, bro.
Oh man,
how would you envision? How would you use Alante? What would you use them on the field? Anyway, let's keep it moving. In and out, Darren Rizzi, current interim head coach of the Saints.
I actually do like Rizzi though, bro, because Rizzi has really done some good things.
I do too.
With this team, being head of this team in the middle of the season and actually making changes, actually doing actual things. I just don't know if he has that vision to run to do the full rebuild. My word was he would be just another Loomis tool. You know what I'm saying? He would
remind me of Like, remember the Niners years that had like Chip Kelly and who was like the sweaty guy, like the big.
Was he the D-line coach? And then they got moved up.
Yeah. Hold on. It's gonna drive me crazy. He was like, okay. It was Jim Tasula.
Yeah, Jim Tasula. Yep.
He would be like in that area of like Jim Tasula, Chip Kelly type of like head coaches for the Saints.
Yeah, just kind of forgettable, honestly. As far as like tenure, but great personality. Only thing that sucks is like if he's not the interim, he will leave and go somewhere else. And he's a fantastic special teams coach. Like,
really is.
He will be missed. You know what I'm saying, as a special teams coach.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway, that was fun. We went through the head coaching candidates. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We didn't mean to go that long, but like an hour plus on this podcast episode. Did not mean to go that long, but we will be back on Monday night enjoying Monday Night Football, Saints, Packers. If you are a Patreon or a YouTube member, join us on the Zoom. There's only 3 Zooms left for the season. So join us on the Zooms. We'll be live streaming to YouTube. So if you're not a Patreon, become a Patreon, become a YouTube member so you can join in on one of our last end of the season Zooms. If not, you can join us on YouTube and watch along as we watch Monday Night Football, the last primetime game for the Saints. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be fun regardless, but we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back Monday night watching the game together. And with that, we are out.
Peace.
Fred runs his own landscaping business.
Yeah, with my 2 brothers.
They take their business very seriously.
Sure do.
Fred traded up to commercial auto insurance from Geico for serious customized coverage that grows as his business does, all for seriously low rates.
All right, so when's it gonna happen? The big Geico surprise?
I'm sorry?
Some hair metal band. Are they gonna jump out of those bushes?
No, this is a serious Geico ad.
That pyro was pretty cool, though.
Get more with Geico Commercial Insurance. Trade up today at geico.com/commercial.
At Kroger Pharmacy, care is what's most convenient for you. Care is being here when you need us. We're open evenings and weekends. Care is helping you save more. Most insurance plans and discount cards are accepted at your local Kroger Pharmacy. Care is saving you time by managing your prescriptions online. You can request refills, check order status, and more. Care is convenience that works for everyone. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Services and availability vary by location. Age and other restrictions may apply. For coverage, consult your health insurance company. Visit the pharmacy or our site for details.